How to sew gathered hems on your palazzo pants and make them convertible. A step-by-step tutorial with sewing pattern. Hi sewers, welcome to my studio. I'm Sasha, I'm a fashion designer and teacher, and today I have a short and sweet tutorial showing you how to sew convertible gathered hems on your palazzo pants. I created this technique as I've been loving the trend for bubble and barrel-legged trouser shapes, but as I also love a wide-legged silhouette, I thought it would be fun to add gathered hems in a way that lets you switch between both styles in the same pair of trousers. I'll be using my Starlight Palazzo Pants sewing pattern for this tutorial, which features adjustable sizing at the waist and can be made with either a drawstring or an elastic-only back. So if you'd like to sew along to make a pair just like this, you can find the pattern in my Etsy store and I'll pop the link down below. However, this method will work on any wide-legged trousers or wide-legged trouser pattern that you might have already. So let's start by having a look at what a convertible gathered hem actually is and the mechanics involved in making it work. This technique uses a hem tape, which is used to draw the ankles in when you want to wear them in the gathered style, and it uses press studs to hold the tapes in place and out of the way when gathered. Project notes. Before we get started, there's a few things to bear in mind with this technique. Firstly, I designed this method to allow you to wear the same pair of palazzo pants in two different styles. And while it is possible to gather the hems in while you're wearing them, it's a lot easier to convert between the two looks before you put them on and then keep them in that chosen style for the whole day. Secondly, I decided that a final gathered hem circumference of 16 inches created a look that felt a little bit more polished than drawing in really close to the ankle. So that's the measurement I'll be using in this tutorial, and it should work for most people regardless of sizing. But if you'd like to adjust this to your own preference, feel free to find a gathered hem circumference that works for you. And I'll explain where to modify the measurements as we move through the tutorial. Thirdly, I added some interfacing to the centre of my fabric tapes. This gives the hems a little bit more structure, which helps create a slightly smarter look to the gathered style. However, you can leave the interfacing out if you'd prefer a softer look, which might work nicely if you're going for a more relaxed or casual vibe. And finally, I used press studs to hold the hem tapes closed, but you could also try using buttons, Velcro, hook and eyes, or any other fastenings you might have to hand. And on that note, there are so many ways you could experiment with different elements of this technique. So do feel free to take this as inspiration and freestyle. For example, you could try using an elastic and toggle if you wanted to switch between the styles more easily, something more visible like a bow on the outside, or a fixed gathered hem if that's the style that you like the most. But if you'd like to recreate the method I've used here, let's get started with the step-by-step tutorial. Materials needed for this project. The hem tapes can either be made with fabric or with a ribbon or tape. I used lining fabric for my hem tapes, which matches the pocket lining and drawstring at the waist on this palazzo pants version to keep everything coordinated. If you want to use fabric for your tapes, it should be non-stretch and lightweight. Lining fabric works particularly well as the slightly slippery surface will allow you to draw the ankles in more easily, but light to mid-weight cotton would work as well. And if you'd like to use ribbon or tape, any kind will work as long as it's 1 to 1 1/4 inches wide. For fabric tapes, you'll need to cut 2 rectangles with a width of 3 1/4 inches and a length according to your palazzo pants pattern size as follows: 33 inches for small, 35 inches for medium, and 37 inches for large. And if you'd like to add the extra structure at the ankle, you'll also need to cut 2 rectangles of interfacing that measure 2.5 inches wide by 16 inches long, or the length you want to have for your final gathered ankle circumference. For ribbon or tape, simply cut 2 lengths according to your palazzo pants pattern size as follows: small 33 inches, medium 35 inches, and large 37 inches. And if you're using this method to add gathered hems to wide-legged trousers other than the Starlight Palazzo Pants, first measure the circumference of the hem and add 2 inches to find the length of your hem tape. So for trousers with a 32-inch hem, you'll need either 2 fabric rectangles measuring 3.25 inches wide by 34 inches long, or 2 34-inch strips of ribbon or tape. You'll then need 6 sets of small to medium-sized press studs. I'll be using 10mm press studs in this tutorial, but anything between 7 to 15mm in diameter will work. And you'll also need a safety pin, a hand sewing needle, and a chalk or cloth marker. Step 1. Prepare and construct your palazzo pants. You'll need a 5cm hem allowance for this variation. The original palazzo pants sewing pattern has a 3cm hem allowance, so the first stage is to add 2cm to the hem of your pattern piece, or to mark and add 2cm of extra length onto your cloth before cutting. Then make up the rest of the pants as normal, following the original tutorial video linked below, but leave out steps 8 and 10, which show the original hem finishing. Note that there are 2 waistband variations, either the original drawstring back or the alternate elastic only back, that you can find in its own tutorial video linked below. When your palazzo pants are completely finished except for the hems, head back here for the next steps. And if you're using this technique on a pair of trousers other than the Starlight Palazzo Pants, you'll want to have them completely finished up to the point of the hems with a 5cm hem allowance available. Step 2. Create hem tape for fabric tapes. This step shows how to create hem tapes from your own fabric. If you're using pre-made ribbon or tape, skip to step 3. If you're adding interfacing to your fabric tapes, fold both the fabric and interfacing strips in half and mark a small snip with the tip of your scissors at either side of the fold to mark the center of each piece. Then fuse the interfacing to the wrong side of your fabric with your iron, using the notches you've just made to match the pieces up at the center and positioning the interfacing in the middle as evenly as possible. The fabric should be 1 centimeter wider than the interfacing at either side. Now use your iron to press the long edges of each fabric strip over by 1 centimeter towards the inside, and then fold in half lengthwise with the right side facing out, bringing the 2 folded edges you've just pressed to meet as closely as possible, and press firmly into place with your iron. So both tape strips should now look like this, with the long raw edges tucked neatly into the middle. Then sew the open edge of each tape together using a straight stitch with a length of 2.5 and a back stitch at the beginning and the end, aiming for your stitches to fall 1 millimeter or 2 away from where the folds meet at the edge. You can pin this first if you need to, and keep an eye that the stitch is catching through all the layers as you sew. So both tapes should now look like this, and then add another line of stitches down the folded edge on the opposite side, using a straight stitch with a length of 2.5 and a back stitch at the beginning and the end, aiming for your stitches to fall 1 millimeter or 2 away from the folded edge. Both tapes should now look like this with a line of stitching down each of the long sides, and give them a press over with your iron to finish. Step 3. Sew press studs to tapes. Fold each tape in half and mark the fold with chalk to find the center of each piece. Then mark a pair of chalk lines 8 inches away from the center on either side of each piece. So they should look like this. This 8 inches represents half of the finished drawn in hem circumference of 16 inches. So if you're using a different measurement for this, adjust the positioning of these chalk marker points accordingly. Then take your press studs and thread up a hand sewing needle on the double. The female part of the press stud looks like this, and the male part of the press stud looks like this. First, sew a pair of female press studs along one of the chalk lines. Then, on the same tape, sew a pair of male press studs at the other chalk line, making sure both sets of press studs are facing up in the same direction, so they should look like this, and then repeat for the other tape. Sewing a pair of press studs together at each line helps give a secure finish when wearing the ankles drawn in, but if your press studs are a bit larger, then just one at each chalk line should be fine. You should now be able to pop together your ankle tapes to form 2 loops that look like this, with the inside of each loop measuring 16 inches, or the length of your preferred drawn-in hem circumference. Step 4. Prepare hem and create tape opening. Fold the raw edge of the trouser hems over by 1 cm towards the inside and press into place with your iron. Then fold over by another 4 cm towards the inside and press into place with your iron. So it looks like this. Then open both folds out and on the inside of the 4 cm hem turn, mark 2 chalk dots on the inside seam, a 1/4 inch away from the 2 fold lines you've just pressed in. So it looks like this. The section between these chalk dots will become the opening for the hem tapes. To secure the opening, add a backstitch above and below the opening section at the chalk dots, so it looks like this. Then carefully unpick the stitching between the 2 chalk marks, and then also remove the edge finishing from the seam on the folded hem section, so it looks like this. At the point of the 4 cm fold you pressed in earlier, make a snip into the seam allowance, being careful to cut close to but not through the stitch line of the seam. So it should look like this. Press the seam allowance of the hem section open, then repress the 1 cm and 4 cm folds back into shape afterwards across the seam. Open the hem out and make a chalk mark at each end of the opening on the front of the cloth. And we're going to top stitch around the edge of the opening to fix it into place. Starting at one of the chalk marks with a backstitch, use a straight stitch with a length of 2 to sew a couple of stitches back and forth across the top of the opening. Then lower your needle into the cloth and use it as a pivot to rotate and sew down the first side of the opening, aiming for your stitches to fall 1 millimeter or so away from the folded edge. When you get to the other end of the opening, lower your needle into the cloth and pivot again to sew a couple of stitches back and forth across the chalk dot. Then pivot again to sew along the second side of the opening in a continuous line until you get back to the point where you started. Then pivot again to end with a backstitch across the first chalk dot. So the opening should now look like this, with a top stitch around the edge, strengthening the area and holding the seam allowances down into place. Give the opening and hem fold at the seam a last press to finish, and repeat in exactly the same way for both legs. Step 5. Sew hem. With the hems folded up, pin into place from the outside of the trouser leg, and we're going to sew them with a top stitch from the front. Starting at the inside seam with a back stitch, sew into place from the outside using a straight stitch with a length of 2.5 and a 4 cm seam allowance, making sure the stitches are catching the top of the hem fold underneath. Sewing from the outside like this helps give the neatest finish to your top stitch, but feel free to mark the stitch line with chalk first, or use a seam guide to make the process a little bit easier. When you reach back at the point where you started, end with a back stitch, and give the hems a really good press flat. So the hems should now look like this from the front, and like this from the inside, with the tape opening providing a neat access point into the channel of the hem. Step 6. Insert hem tape. Take one of the hem tapes you prepared earlier and attach a safety pin to one end. Then flip the tape so the press studs are facing downwards, and use the safety pin to insert the tape into the opening on the hem and work it all the way around the channel, being careful to keep it flat and not twisting as you go until you can bring it back out of the opening at the other side. Then keep pulling the 2 ends of the tape until you can see the press studs at the opening, and pop the press studs together. Then remove the safety pin and work the gathers evenly around the hem to check that the tape is sitting nicely and not twisted inside the channel. Now take the ends of the tape and flip them around to the other side, then bring them together and pin into place. So they should now look like this, with a twist between them in the long section above the press studs. Then sew the ends together using a straight stitch with a length of 2.5, a 5 mm seam allowance and a back stitch at the beginning and the end. And repeat for both legs, so they should now look like this. Trim down the seam allowances to about 2 to 3 mm, so they look like this, and press the seams flat. Then flip the seams around to fold over at the join and press into place. and sew a second line of stitches to create a mini French seam to hold the fold in place, using a straight stitch with a length of 2.5, a 5mm seam allowance, and a back stitch at the beginning and the end. So they should both now look like this, with the ends of the tape neatly joined together. And give them another press flat to finish. Step 7. Additional press studs. Then, to hide the extra length of tape when you're wearing the trousers gathered in, take a pair of male press studs and sew one to each of the 2 tape ends, so that they look like this, with the new press studs approximately 8 inches away from the joined press studs at the hem opening. Then turn the legs inside out and make a chalk mark onto the inside seam 6 inches above the top of the hem. Then take your remaining pair of female press studs and sew them onto the seam allowance where you made the chalk mark. Be careful when you're sewing these that the stitches go through the seam allowance only and not through the main leg, so they remain hidden from the outside. And pop the press studs together to check the positioning to finish. The end of the tape should be held up out of the way of the ankle opening with a little bit of slack so that it doesn't pull down on the leg seam when popped in place. Step 8. Gathering the hem. You now have convertible hems that can switch between wide-legged or gathered to suit your mood. To do this, when the legs are wide, simply pull the joined end of the tape from the opening and keep pulling until the press studs are visible. Then pop them together to keep the ankles drawn in and work the gathers around evenly for the neatest look. And pop the end of the tape to the hidden press stud inside to hold it out of the way. Then, to wear the legs wide again, simply unpop all of the press studs and work the tape out to its full length to release the hems. Taking care to keep the end of the tape with the press stud near the hem opening will make it easier to gather them next time. Bear in mind that although it is possible to switch between the hem styles while wearing the trousers, it's much easier to do this and fix the desired look before you put the trousers on. And on fabric that creases, like this linen, you might also need to press the hems flat after wearing them gathered if you want a crisp, wide-legged look. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoy having a play with this new hem style for the palazzo pants, and I'd love to see how you get on with it. So please do tag me in your photos. You can find me on Instagram and TikTok at Sasha__Starlight, and you can use the hashtag Starlight Palazzos for this project. I had lots of fun making these, so if there are any other variations you'd like to see on one of my designs, do let me know in the comments. And as a little sneak peek, my next pattern release will be for an adjustable skirt version of the palazzos with even bigger pockets. But for now, I hope your new convertible gathered hem palazzo pants bring you all the joy for many years to come, and I'll see you next time.